And so we're rounding the north, so the western point of St. Martin. We were in here, around the corner here in the bay, Marigot Bay, and Simpson Bay is round the corner here. And there is Saba. We're just going to turn towards it a bit more. It's quite shallow waters close to the coast here, so I'm just give myself a little bit of room. And that's where we're going, Saba. Funny, after sailing across the Atlantic or something like that, and then when you see islands, or when you leave one island, you can see your destination before you've departed virtually. It's just amazing. So here we go, Saba, here we come. 25 miles to go or so. We're doing about 5 or 6 knots, which is good. So we should be there by lunchtime or a little later. Okay, so we've rounded the point at the top of St. Martin, and we're on just some close reach, it's just inside the 90, and we've got 15 knots of wind, give or take, and we're doing 7.5 or so, which is very nice. Unfortunately the kicker's squeaking a bit rather noisily. I think I'm going to have to get some more WD-40 in there and try and get rid of that squeak, but yeah, so we've got 23 miles to go. And 7 knots, that's only going to take us 3.5 hours, which is pretty good. All is good on the ocean wave. We're sailing with one reef in the mainsail and the whole journey out, so yeah, we've just got one reef in, which for 15 knots is pretty much perfect. And as I say, we've got 7 knots, 7 and a bit knots ground speed, which is nice. Bye for now from Not So Bad. Distance. Lots of sargassum seaweed. And still whizzing along it. 7 or 8 knots, and Saba is getting closer and closer. And we're nearly there. This diamond rock down here, you can just see, and just reread the book, and we're going to have to go around the south end to Fort Bay to check in, so we'll do that first and then perhaps come back round here on this west side where it's supposed to be more sheltered. We'll see. Okay, well, we're here. It was a bit of a drama picking up the boy, simply because it's so bumpy here. I can't see the boy when we get really close to it, so I'm relying on Sandra to tell me how close we are, and it's very difficult to hear her when she's facing the other way and the wind's blowing howling a gale, so it's tricky. But anyway, we got the boy on. We got on the boy, and we're here. We've done 34 miles just about today, and we're still planning to go back round to Ladder Bay to finalise our parking. We had maximum wind speed of 27 knots and we did 10.6 knots. So enough of that for today, I think. Bye from Not So Bad. we've had a bit of a traumatic afternoon. We had a very pleasant morning on a guided tour of the island, and during the tour we discovered that the forecast for tomorrow and the next few days is terrible. There's a cold front coming through and it's going to be strong winds, and we're parked round at Fort Bay, which is round the corner there, and there's no protection whatsoever from the wind. Birdie, no protection at all, and we didn't want to stay there. We slept there last night, although we'd actually intended to move around here, but we slept there last night, and it was so bumpy, my God. And we couldn't get the dinghy back up because the davits were bouncing up and down so much it was hazardous to health. I damaged my leg just getting the thing down. So with the thought of going to Statia tomorrow, which is our next destination, put off because of the weather. The Statia is even worse than round here apparently, so we decided we would come round here towing the dinghy. Trying to pick up the ball was very difficult and took us 3 or 4 goes, during which time we managed to reverse onto the dinghy and get the painter wrapped round the port propeller once again. So anyway, this is where they used to land all the goods that came to the island, because this is the Cam side, this is the west side, and it's sort of easterly, southeasterly winds all the time. And this is what's called Ladder Bay, and if you look carefully there's a yellow COVID-19 sign, but then there's the ladder or winding up the way towards what was Customs House up on the hillside there, and everything, the ships used to come and anchor here, and then they would row the stuff close to shore in rowing boats, and then manhandle it and carry it, everything, up the hill until they could get it onto a donkey or whatever. So hardy people in the old days. There are a few houses up here. Very pretty island, very green, but very small. So it looks like we might be here for the next 3, maybe 4 days, stuck around here, which is a bit of a nuisance because although it's pretty calm here at the moment, once you go around the corner there's 4-foot waves, 5-foot waves, and going around there in the dinghy, which is the only sensible way of getting around there, is hazardous, shall we say, and there's nowhere to land the dinghy on this side, so we're a bit stuck. We've got no internet, no communications, nada.
But we have each other.
Yeah, as the Commodore says, we've got each other. Getting back to the yacht in the dinghy, we got completely soaked driving into the wind and into the waves, completely soaked, and our clothes are hanging here drying as we speak. So I've had a swim today to get the dinghy painter off the port propeller. I have to say the water was very pleasant, although I wasn't really thinking much about it. So hopefully we won't have any trouble and we'll be nice and calm like this here tonight. So I've stuck. Well, we'll get even more visitors. See if I can let you out. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to hurt you. Here you go, here you go. Here you go. And he's gone. Guys, good morning. It is Monday.
The 6th of February.
Monday the 6th of February. We've just left
Wrestled with a boy.
We were on a mooring buoy up Steps Bay, which you'll have seen. We decided that the weather was good enough for us to continue. We couldn't take it any more on the buoy. And we this outstation because it's even worse than this in terms of lustriness and gales. And but when we tried to release the buoy with our two mooring lines, because the wind didn't blow all the time, it only blew some of the time. So some of the time we were overrunning the ball and it was banging against the side. And during that time, it managed to get itself wrapped around pretty severely. We did have an effort at getting it cleared, and we had some success, but we couldn't get it all cleared. And to cut a long story short, we ended up cutting our two long braided mooring lines, which is a real nuisance. Now we're just going to come around here and we're going to ask them nicely if they'll let us go into the port to check out, because otherwise we're going to pick up another mooring ball.
It's going to be another nightmare.
I'm not really ready for that.
So we're hopefully going to be approved just to dock, check out, and then get on our way.
It's a tiny harbour and they don't normally let you in, so who knows. Time will tell. Time will tell. Saba is disappearing in the rear view mirror, and I can't say I'm sorry about that by any stretch of imagination. The village you see up there sort of is windward side, and then the airport's away on the top corner. This is Fort Bay down here, you can just see a few houses. It was very interesting to visit, but the weather's been brutal. We went into the harbour and tied up in the harbour to go and clear, because it's so difficult to pick up a buoy in these weather conditions. It's so exposed, it's just like this. And then you have to drop the dinghy, and the davits are going up and down like there's no tomorrow. I got a real bashing and we dropped it the first time. So we weren't keen to try and do that again. They weren't keen to let us come into the harbour, because the harbour master wasn't there, despite the fact he's supposed to be on duty at 6 or something like that. He wasn't there at 9. And the customs and immigration were very good. They cleared us out without any problems. But we had to go to the harbour master to pay our dues for the marine park, etc. And he just wasn't there. Fortunately, a very, very nice, exceptional Dutch lady had come to help us as we came in, and she took our lines, and she sent Sandra off to clear while she and I finished tying the yacht up to the dock, which is a solid dock without any protection for us. So fortunately we've got the big balloons, but even so we did scratch the bow a bit. Anyway, customs and immigration wouldn't let Sandra check out. It has to be the skipper, so she had to come back, and I went. And I finished the documentation. That was fine, but we were still waiting for the harbour master. He's on his way apparently. How long will he be? Don't know. How much? Can't I just leave the money here and go? No, don't know how much it is. So anyway, Sandra was screaming at me to go back to the yacht, and I went back, and the very kind Dutch lady said, just go, you've done everything you possibly can, just go. If there's money to pay, we will pay it, don't worry. So people are so kind, it's just amazing. I'm worried that we've damaged our cleats, because at times the yacht was virtually hanging on the cleats. We damaged one of our dock lines, the old black one that I got back in Hout Bay. Got back in Thailand. One of the 3 strands of it snapped. So that's the 3rd dock line we've damaged today. We had to cut the 2 long braided ones, and we've just got 4 little bits of string left over now, and the rest of it's dangling from the buoy around the corner there at Ladder Bay. We've got about 20-25 knots, something like that. Just as I've come up here, it's dropped back down towards 15 to 20, which is much better. It'll take a while for the seas to die down. We were doing 5 to 6 knots in the 25 knots. We've got 3 reefs in the mainsail, and we've got loads of reefs in the Genoa. If it stays at 50 knots, I might let a bit more Genoa out. This is Statia, where we were going to go. This is the next island along, but it's even more exposed apparently than Saba in this kind of weather, so we're missing that out. We're going straight to St. Kitts, which is a lot more sheltered. They've got a marina there. In fact, they've got a couple of marinas there, but they're not very big. They're very busy, and I'm not sure we'll get in, but there is reasonable anchoring there, so we'll do that if necessary, because I don't want to pick up another buoy ever in my life. It's a nightmare. Okay guys, so we're making progress. There is Saba back down there, and this will be a station where we're going to be going next, but it's even more exposed apparently than Saba, so we ain't going there in this kind of weather. You can see St. Kitts, that's where we're going. So we'll be going a couple of hours. We've done about 12 miles, I think it is. We're doing about 6 knots, which is not a bad beating into wind. We have had good bits and bad bits. Sometimes it's pretty gentle, and sometimes it's pretty rough. We now seem to be just about in the lee of St. Kitts, and the waves seem not quite as bad, but whether that's factual or not, I don't know.